Hello and welcome to Physics 101. This is Robert Austin, your friendly neighborhood Phoenix physics facilitator. And I'm going to take you on a quick stroll through the course, hopefully to answer any questions that might come up during the first week. First thing to do is take a look at the syllabus. So I've opened up the syllabus and it gives you an idea of what you'll be doing each week. And down here, I've given an overview of the schedule. So it's important to note this. You're going to have an interactive overview. It's not worth very many points. It basically asks you how you feel about the current week. And ideally, you would respond to that by Thursday of the week. So in this case, I'm talking about the 16th of February. Okay, that's midnight Phoenix time. Okay, when I say due date, you can assume, 1 minute before midnight. So by midnight Phoenix time on that day. There's a discussion topic. You're supposed to respond to the discussion topic again by Thursday, midnight. And then additionally, there's 2 replies to other students' responses as due the following Monday. In this case, for the first week, I'm talking about Monday, February the 20th, okay? That's Phoenix time. That could be early Tuesday morning if you're like me and on the East Coast or in Eastern time zone or a Central time zone, all right? And then there's an assessment, which is basically you working through a simulation and writing a short essay on your observations and conclusions. Okay, that's the overview of it. Let's go back to the classroom here. So we're in week 1. So open that. And probably the first thing you want to do, and some of you have already started, is to introduce yourself to your classmates. This is completely optional. It's not a graded exercise. So if you don't want to talk about yourself, that's fine. If you want to write a short novel about yourself, that's fine too. Just be aware if it's too long, people might not read it. But here's some suggested things you can talk about. One thing that's left off of here, which I think is very important, is to say something about your career aspirations. Why are you at the University of Phoenix? So anyway, again, that's optional. Say as much or as little as you like. And then I guess the next thing you should do is actually start reading the weekly reading assignments. So go under learning activities. And this is our textbook right here, okay? So just click on that link and give it a minute to load, or 2. There we go. All right, so the first chapter is just kind of about what physics is and talks about atoms and the atomic theory of matter, how matter is made up of atoms, and how we can use that to understand the different states of matter, solid, liquid, and gas, etc. Okay, so just read through that, and then you can go on. Hopefully you can read through that by Thursday, or at least skim it by Thursday, because by Thursday, you should respond to the interactive overview. I mentioned all this before, but I want to show it to you. So at this point, I want to strongly encourage you to use Chrome as your browser. I've had some cases where students were not able to actually see this button down here that says View the Assessment. And I found out that they were using Microsoft Edge. Now, that was a few months ago. Maybe Edge is updated and works with it now. But all I can say for certain is that Chrome is pretty much the ideal browser to be using with Blackboard. So if you have any issues, just use Chrome. If you don't have Chrome, download Chrome, because Otherwise, you might run into problems. Okay, click on the assessment, and it tells you what to do during the week. So at least get started on that. And then it asks you, to describe your emotions so far this week. So you might feel very confident, or maybe you're really worried, you feel lost. Um, I look at these usually I get around to them on Saturday. I mean, I should try to get to them, Friday, but that just usually doesn't happen. But at least by Saturday, I'll look at them. And that gives me a fairly early picture of how you're doing. And I can maybe give you a few encouraging words if it looks like you're doing better than you think, or some suggestions on how to do better. Okay. Um, so if you feel confident or very confident, I guess you don't have to say any more. I'm the instructor, so I guess I feel very confident. But down here, at this point, I probably don't need to say anything because I feel just fine. But if you're really worried or not confident or not sure, it's helpful to me for you to tell me what you're not sure about. Maybe I can give some useful advice. But I'm the instructor. That's why I feel confident. And make sure, don't just save it and close it because I won't be able to grade it. You have to submit it. If you're not done with it, you can by all means save and close, but you have to go back and into the assignment and then submit it for me to actually have access to it and be allowed to grade it. It'll also send a confirmation to your email address, and you can download it too if you want. Okay, that's that. That only takes a couple minutes. All right, we've done the interactive overview. Now the discussion. Okay, this note here, it says that the due date is the 21st, which would be next Monday. You see also on mine, it says 1:59 a.m. So that actually corresponds to Tuesday morning for me, which is midnight Monday, Phoenix time. So get your time zone straight. It's all based on Phoenix time. So, if you see this, that's okay. If I submit it by 2 a.m. on Tuesday morning, that's still before it becomes midnight Phoenix on Monday night, right? But the point is, get it in. But but the important thing also is that's for the full assignment, which is a response to the discussion topic and replies to your classmates. But your response is actually due on Thursday. That's why it says due Thursday here. So there's really two things to worry about. There's a response, and it's described here, 175 words. It asks you some questions to answer. Get that in by Thursday, Phoenix time, midnight Thursday, 11:59. And then sometime later in the week, you can reply to your fellow classmates. And by fellow classmates, that could include me. And I don't count words on this one. So, but keep it substantive, Don't just say, "Oh, I like your answer," or "I agree with your answer," or I've even seen responses that say, "I like your name." That's not substantive, all right? Comment on something your classmate said about the discussion topic. If you have any doubts about it, look at the rubric. Open up the rubric and take a look at it. So you see that it's important to get your response in on time. 40% of your total grade is due to getting your response in by Thursday. Word count, if you're a little bit short of words, I don't care really if you go over, but if you're below, I can take, a fairly small percentage off. The quality of your answer, usually I'm not too, if your post makes sense, I'm not really looking for necessarily right or wrong answers. I'm just looking for thoughtful answers. And then this is for your replies to your other classmates. So just make sure they're substantive, and then you'll get credit on that. And if you want to see a further breakdown, here it is. So if you respond on or before Thursday with your main response to this discussion topic, then you get 16 points. If you're a day late, 14.4, 2 days late, 12.8, 3 days late, 11.2, 4 days late, 9.6. If you don't respond at all, obviously you get 0. If you're more than 4 days late, if you posted 5 days late or 6 days late even, you'll still get credit, partial credit. It'll just be marked as late. I guess I wanted to show you more, didn't I? Okay, word count. Here, if you get the 175 or more words, you get 4 points. If you're between 131 and 174, you get 3 words, etc. Okay, and if you answer all parts of the question, again, I usually don't read them super carefully. So if it looks like you've answered it, if it's a question about gravity, I expect you to say something about gravity. If I read the question, if I read your response and you don't mention gravity, then I'll probably take some points off. Okay, I think that's reasonable. And then finally, your replies to your fellow classmates. So did you post 2 substantive replies? You get 10 points. Maybe 1 substantive and 1 says, "I like your name." That's not or it's too late. If it comes after Monday, it's not going to be considered substantive because nobody reads it anymore. We're on the next week. So same goes for, you might post 1 reply and not another one at all. So that's how many points you get. You might post 2 replies. It could be great replies, but if they're both late, come after Monday, you'll get some credit, but they won't be considered substantive. And then it just goes down from there, right? Okay. All right, that is the discussion. So just make sure you respond. Do everything you can to respond by Thursday. All right. And then the simulation exercise. Again, open it up. There's 2 things to open up here. There's a guide. So click on that. It'll download a file. So open that. It's a Word document. All the instructions are there. Just follow the instructions to the letter. Read the words. Don't just look at pictures. Sometimes the pictures can be misleading. Okay. So I'll give you a hint right here. It says select oxygen, but this picture shows water molecules selected. So don't go with water. It says to run the simulation for oxygen. So follow the guidelines there. And then the simulation link is right there. You open that. Make sure you do the right part of the simulation it describes. All right. And those are all the main things. Be on the lookout because under learning activities in our module, probably by Wednesday, I will post another link because I plan to have a live meeting on Friday, and that'll be your opportunity to join me and ask questions, and I'll probably work through the simulation, give some pointers there. It'll be an optional meeting. You don't have to attend. I will record it, but I hope some students attend because it's always better if I have some students responding to things I say and asking some questions. I guess that's it for now. I'm going to end it here. I don't want to take any more of your time, and I look forward to seeing you in class.